So today is November 3rd. I feel like it's like boy, they had no idea what was coming thing to say. I feel like possibly we're, you know, right on the brink of something big or not, because honestly, I've been hearing that so often for so long. And I've allowed myself to really hope and expect and believe that some of these big, extraordinary things are really going to happen, like the mass awakening for light workers. It's occurred to me, I listened to Lady of the Forest, Cindy, her prophecies in her book, and they talk about this first wave for light workers, and then those light workers will assist the next wave of light workers, and I want to be in the first one. I guess just for my ego, there's no real reason. Um, but I'm also a mother of little kids, and I sometimes, I don't know, I kind of do it to justify my own ego's whining about not being able to do things yet. But sometimes I go, well, uh, I need my attention to be within my little unit right now. And if I had these amazing abilities, or I don't know what the awakening, how that would affect me as a mother, if at all, if anything negative whatsoever. But sometimes I use that as a way to quiet down my comparison desire, like compunction. Is that a word? I don't know. Sometimes I can't think of words anymore. But anyway, these things are coming. I guess, I hope. I mean, they say there's just so much coming and that we're in it. And I don't know. Ugh, so close. And is it going to happen? I want to say it is. But anyhow, there's been a lot of talking about these are our last time. This is our last opportunity to drop any additional karma that we can. I don't know what happens if you don't. I do work through whatever comes up. And I've just been trying to, there are some things swirling that I feel like, yeah, no, that's still hanging around. One big one is my body issues, which I feel like many people could possibly relate to. And just I've got scoliosis and I have a thing called diastasis recti. And um, and sometimes I mean, my whole life I've wondered. I kind of I had scoliosis before I had the diastasis recti. Diastasis recti is caused by childbirth, unless unless it was already happening before I had my kids. But the scoliosis, I always just was like, I made this because I'm out of balance, and I kind of used it as evidence of my failure, my lack of being perfect yet. And, kind of was like, okay, so, like I kind of thought maybe it was a male female energy, masculine feminine energy imbalance. But I never really knew what to do with that information. It's like, yeah, I am imbalanced. I don't know what to do. And, I just have it. And it makes me sad. And it makes me feel like I can't be in good health. And yet, often I realize that I am in good health. And I go, okay, I don't know what to make of this. And some people will say that when you work through your limiting beliefs, then the health will come. And I go, are you saying my spine is going to improve, or is it forever, because it seems like it's forever. It seems like there's no going back. Hopefully, there's miraculous healings in the next decades that will make things possible that weren't before. So that's something I'm down on myself. I can be. I kind of don't think about it that much. The diastasis is a lot harder because it makes me look like I'm pregnant. It's been 4 years since I've been pregnant, and the hardest thing about it is just the embarrassing. It's not my embarrassment; it's others' embarrassment because people think I'm pregnant and congratulate me, which is so nice and sweet and warm. And then I have to say I'm not pregnant, and they feel terrible and they don't know what to say. And people mostly they kind of just don't. What do you say? What could you say that doesn't make it worse? And I feel bad for putting people in that situation. These are just kind people being supportive of the baby that's not coming. And and that's the worst thing. And I feel like hiding it. I feel like I should hide it. And this is something I really would love to not believe in, that I need to hide my body. And I felt it before diastasis, where there's this thing, it's like you should minimize your flaws. I know, like, can we not call them flaws? It's so hard to get on the other end of that. And it's like I'm supposed to wear something that doesn't show the undulations of my body. I'm supposed to try to make myself look smooth. What's the supposed to? Where's this coming from? Nobody is saying that. They're just all doing that. I'm an actor, so if I'm on set, they will do that. We'll all try to draw attention away from it. We being me and my costumer and the director, everyone knows that's our goal. I guess we're talking about, what's it called? You know, collective beliefs. And so I want to step outside of that. And why is it so hard? But just like wearing something that if I just go, so I'll show it. It doesn't feel better. It doesn't feel free. It makes me just constantly look at it and think about it. So I like to wear things where I don't notice it so I can just think of other things for the majority of the day. But I feel like I'm in this adversarial, like this, it's this work to just accept my body, but let's not think about it. And it's not easy. It's not natural. It's just not fine. It's not what it is. It's just this thing to want to change. And I don't care. I want to just not care. And sometimes I'm led back to like this desire to be admired. And I think there's something in me from my upbringing where a judgment that I think I had toward others of, I don't want to follow you if you don't look like you're in order. If you are beautiful, it's like, oh yeah, that's because they've got everything energetically in line, and you can just it's manifesting as beauty. And it's just like if somebody's not doing that, um, if somebody's body isn't in health and order and kind of just like a human perfection, like as far as we can go. So that would just be, strong and slender, energetic, if you don't have those qualities, then I probably don't want to follow you in other areas of your life, because I'm getting evidence that things aren't in order, that aren't in balance, you know? And so I have a fear that nobody will listen to me about any of my ideas if I do not have an aspirational body. I mean, that's stupid to say because they're unrelated. And also I guess it's this idea that there is supposed to be we're supposed to be perfect when we give advice or we have wisdom. We should be in a state of perfection where where I'm thinking the real truth is that we're here to get in the mud and get messy and make mistakes. Hello, son. Make mistakes, get caught up in limiting beliefs, get caught up in density, and transform it. So, shouldn't I believe that all evidence of hard life should really be my badge of honor because I came here to do what I was supposed to do? Maybe, you know, maybe that's the way around it. And I there's also this idea of just, you know, being a beautiful being within any suit, physical suit, if nothing other than to just blast holes in the idea of there being a perfection, and that the state of our body is our fault. Um, and I don't know, we have control over some things, and we have control over educating ourselves about some things, and then sometimes we can't figure it out. And conventional wisdom in terms of body health doesn't work. And then we're just learning, and we're still doing it, and we're still bravely being in a body and doing what we can with limited information, understanding, and all of that. And and yeah, and there are so many examples of people I can remember that I can like so easily accept their wisdom, and I see their light and their beauty, and their bodies don't match up with what I feel like is the only perfect way for me, you know? So I'm starting to have evidence to the contrary of my childhood view of the world, that that's not necessary. And I think, you know, there's just some lingering opportunities to go back to that old belief. But, you know, it's at least it's on. I feel like I'm in a place where I can choose. I have good evidence of both. I mean, you know, the limiting childhood belief, maybe I shouldn't say I have good evidence of it, but I have, I guess, a habit of believing that, and then I have good evidence to the contrary. So at least I've got a choice sometimes. Yeah, it's interesting, and it's harder when I'm around people who certainly still believe that their own value is in their beautifulness or lack thereof. And a lot of times I feel that from people who do have conventional beauty or conventionally aspirational bodies, and I think they have bought into the idea of that's what gives them value. And I feel a comparison between us, maybe coming from me, maybe coming from them, maybe coming from both. And I don't like sensing, or whether it's coming from me or them, that they think that they are beating me. And that makes me think of my little kid life, you know. I don't want to be the worst one, you know. I don't like it when people think that they're using me to feel better about themselves by comparison. I think that's a big one for me. And that's something that that's causing nastiness in me and resentment and wishing ill will, because I mean, obviously it's coming from me because I feel it toward them. If somebody has beauty or money, those are kind of my big ones, where I go, well, I have this other thing that you don't have, and that's why it's fair. But if they ever had both, if they had all the good things, then I'd be like, what? You know? And that's so petty and so immature. And that's definitely still there. And can I please drop that? Can I please drop the desire for tit for tat? Like I guess I need to stop feeling like I'm a victim of the choice to be the body that I am, and the choice to have the financial resources that I do, and the choice to be in a household with people who think the way that the people in my household do. And that was ambiguous, but what I'm saying is that my spouse does not place a lot of value in a beautiful home. And sometimes I feel jealous of other people I know whose spouse believes that, yeah, when things look ugly and broken, we just have to fix it. When we move into a place, we just have to buy nice furnishings. When there's damage to the wall, you just have to fix it that week or that month, you know? And I feel jealous because I'm the only one bothered by those things. And I end up letting them go because um, my spouse doesn't want to put resources of money or time in those areas. And I want a nice home. And I feel jealous of people who have the money to maybe hire somebody to do that for them. Or, um, no ors, I guess that's that. Anyway, so I've had some feelings of, like, I can accept that other people have those things as long as they don't have the things that I have too, like light. I actually begrudge somebody light, ease, joy, laughter, you know, because it's like that's what I have. That's what I have to feel like I have enough. Like I have this really high, this great abundance of that. And if I don't have the other ones, and I don't, and it's like it's fine. I'll just have my sum of abundance streams. But if someone else gets all of them, then I'm like, you have the wealth and the joy and the beauty. Well, boy, I wish I could have picked that going back, but here's the thing, I didn't. And I want to trust the growth in that. And I guess the idea is that I bought into, which I think it's the American dream states that your goal is to have all forms of abundance. And that is not the soul goal. So the American dream is not our soul's goal, and we fight against our soul when we define success as the American dream. And of course, you know, whatever American dream, but you know what I mean, all the, you know, success, money, health, happiness, family, community. Some of these things are great. I mean, I guess they're all great. They're all great. Um, I don't know. Those two are tough on for me. The money, but also with having money is the uh, the belief that it's safe to spend it once you have it. And I'm working on that. That has been tough for me, but my husband does not like to do that. So sometimes, no matter how much we accumulate, I feel like I am maybe being high maintenance to ask to use it on those things when I feel like we are in a position to do that. And I feel like I'm being a burden. He's like unlucky to have a wife like me who wants to spend all his, not his money, our money, wants to spend all our money on these things that are expensive and not necessary. And it's just like it's the equivalent of me saying our car's not broken down, but I want to pretend all the cars are broken down. Like they're like our house is still standing. I still want to spend money on it, even though it hasn't broken down. You know, like you have to fix a broken car. That's bad. That's unfortunate. Sorry that happened to you. Your wife wants to fix the back door. Ooh, I'm sorry that happened to you. Like I'm like I'm bad news. I'm like, oh, the car broke. Oh, my wife wants to spend money. Like I just feel like I'm the equivalent of a breaking down car. And then I just like um I'm like a stress presence in somebody's life. Like I'm like keep pulling it down and I keep doing it. You know, I keep wanting to keep wanting to spend stuff, and I feel like I'm such a problem to solve, or some just not even to solve, just like a bummer. Like it sucks about my life is I have a wife that wants to spend money all the time, and so it's like we build abundance, and I just still feel stuck. Um, that one's so big, and I don't know what to do about that one because I feel like I work on my perspective, but I can't. I don't feel like I should force him to have my perspective. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go because it is hard on him, and I just go, okay, I can just choose to be to divorce myself from responsibility from that. Like I'm happy with it. I feel safe. You do what you want, but I'm still. It's like, where's the line? Where's too much for him, and where's enough? Like not enough, but like I'm allowed to ask for this much. I'm allowed to poke at his sanity this much, and now wait till next month to poke again. Is it okay to poke every month? You know? Um, so that one's just so confusing for me. And I just know that if I were a single person, which I definitely don't prefer, but like if it was just me, I just would have jumped in all the way so long ago and just been like, I don't know, is this abundance way work? Does it work? Do you just jump in and spend in line with your values and then you're fine? Because I think it probably will be. And honestly, it always has been. But I still know I'm not living from abundance because I'm still afraid to broach the subject every time. Um, I every time I go, I I'm I feel strongly enough to actually argue for spending money on XYZ. But I still have to be ready for that defense, which to me means I'm not living in abundance because there's so much resistance in me in anticipation of the discussion of spending money. And of course, this is really hard on my husband, who just feels like he's taking care of his family and that he's being called a Scrooge and, an oppressor. And I want to give him the space and the freedom to believe whatever he wants about money. And I don't want to make him feel judged. It's just hard. It's just an obstacle to me. And I want to let him be his version as long as he wants or needs to be. But it doesn't seem like separate but equal really works here. And I even tried, like, let's have separate money within the account so that you're saving your part, and I know that I have autonomy and agency. And he just hates the idea of separate money. I think he said that's disgusting to me. So it's just like, where else do I turn? I don't know. And sometimes the answer is just to be ready for a tough day and self-doubt. I hate self-doubt. It's one of my like motivating factors, my motivating somethings, motivations, motivating motivations is to not find myself in self-doubt. And I just want to like kind of stand by everything I do and just stop doubting. I hate it and I'm sick of it and it's annoying. But I find myself in doubt a lot in relationship to my husband. And sometimes I resent that. And sometimes I feel like that is, that's a gift of this relationship, is forcing me to let go of some identity pillars of righteousness, of better than other people, of my way is bestness, and sometimes of not being willing to accommodate others' needs when I just feel like I shouldn't have to. You know, these are things that I like to believe my relationship offers me a positive way to work through something. Equally, I also wonder if it erodes my sense of trust in myself to constantly question and dismantle, like, is it my truth or is it my ego, you know? Do I want to dismantle everything I believe, or is that my inner knowing and I'm just constantly questioning it instead of trusting it? Stuff's hard, man. And it's just kind of like, oh well, at some point, you know, you just go, yeah, it's hard, I'm gonna think about something different instead, because I'm stuck, and it's exhausting, you know. And it's just, you can't fight all that forever without just feeling great instead, you know, instead of feeling like you're moving through quicksand. So yeah, there's so many things. And they're like, try to work through your karma real quick because we're about to shift. And I'm just like, like, I don't know, these might just have to get let go of. Or, and sometimes I'm like, or maybe there's nothing to fix, you know. Maybe this is just part of being a human, and that you just drop it. There's you just that it's just the experience, and then you just leave it, and you don't fix it, because the fixing is in the leaving it, you know. um and Yeah, I try to just, you know, use my day to day as a guide. And when a giant thing rears its head, usually somebody upset at me, my kids or my husband, you know, and then I go, okay, that's something I actually have to deal with. But, you know, I do like to dig up the past and remember feeling like a small person, um, feeling like I'm kind of useless to the world, that I don't have any, like when I think about being a kid, deciding what I want to be and wondering if the world will respond to me, like would people hire me? Would people, if I had a business, would people patronize my business? Would anybody care? Am I on anybody's wavelength? That's a big one for me, because I always feel like I'm on no one's wavelength. And so if I'm on no one's wavelength, how can I be a part of this world? Like, how can I make a living? How can I make a contribution if I'm not on the wavelength of anybody I've ever met? And And that is, that's some self-doubt about my place in the world. And I kind of stepped into the world, and then I stepped back out before I really solved that fear in myself. And I was a teacher, and I think I was a great teacher, and I loved that, and I was good at that. I'm a real good waitress, just saying. And I'm a good actress, and I have some other skills like organizational things, and um, I don't know if I can. I made a living as a teacher. I so I guess I know I can make a living. I think the acting one is the one I never found out the answer to. And I may never get to do that because I might either go in another direction, or it's like I like acting, so I would still do it partial. But I also have the kids now, and I don't really want to jump all the way in and be an ambitious career builder in terms of acting. So I might just never know if I'm good enough, if I have something that's magnetic enough to do that. Um, and so maybe that means it's not important for me to know that or to test that, and maybe I can tell who cares, and what I have is great, and what I have is enough, and it's all perfectly balanced, and I'm doing all the things I want to with my time, perhaps. So that is some of the big ones of my wishes to wrap up karma. I also have a part of me that just goes, nah, that's like another myth. Even though I'm hearing people say that, maybe the truth is that's kind of buying into the idea of like I'm not good enough yet. I haven't gotten rid of my karma yet. I don't deserve ascension yet. I don't deserve gifts yet. I don't deserve to understand my soul, or be my soul, or have galactic communication yet, because I haven't finished. That's a big theme of my life, and perhaps that's the biggest singular message of all, is that I am perfect as I am. Can I believe that? Can I believe I am perfect as I am? And there is no karma to release. It is the beauty of the experience I came here. It's delicious, you know? It's delicious and colorful and meaty. And it's beautiful in the shades of colors I didn't expect, And it's just lovely. And as I remember all those crazy feelings of smallness and insecurity and doubt and confusion, those are awesome because you don't get to feel that when you're not a human. And they're just like, oh yeah, more confusion. Fun. Ah, yeah, self-doubt. God, how exotic. Oh, you're on Earth? Have you ever had self-doubt? I hear it's amazing. And maybe that's it. I'm kind of digging this. Like I'm ready for it all. I did it. I did it. I ascended. You saw it. Um, yeah, I like that. I'm gonna call it a day. Thanks for watching.